Your soulmate just wrote you a secret love letter. It disappears in 5 minutes. My beloved child. Don't skip, because what you are about to hear is not an ordinary message. Somewhere beyond what your eyes can see, a secret love letter has already been written with your name hidden inside every line. It was never meant for the crowd. It was never meant for people who doubt everything they hear. It was meant for the one who stayed long enough to discover the truth. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Imagine finding a letter that vanishes only 5 minutes after you open it. No copy. No second chance. No way to read it again. Would you rush through the words, or would you let every sentence change your heart forever? That is exactly why you are here today. This message carries the feeling of a letter that cannot be replaced. Before another moment passes, listen carefully, because the very first sentence says, "I have been trying to reach you in ways you never expected." Those words are simple, yet they carry a weight that cannot be ignored. Every quiet night, every unexpected memory, every strange feeling that appeared without warning suddenly begins making sense. The letter continues, "You believed silence meant distance, but silence was only preparing the perfect moment." Let that sink in. Sometimes what feels like nothing happening is actually everything falling into place behind the scenes. Don't skip now. You are getting closer to the sentence that changes everything. A strange feeling grows stronger as the next page unfolds. The handwriting almost feels alive, as if every word was written with deep care instead of ordinary ink. The letter says, "There were countless moments when I almost gave up, but every time I imagined a future without you, my heart refused to let go." Those words stop you completely. Suddenly, every unanswered question begins connecting like pieces of a hidden puzzle. The confusion, the waiting, the unexpected delays, they no longer feel meaningless. They feel like chapters leading toward one unforgettable ending. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. The next lines reveal something even more surprising. "You never realized how often your kindness became my strength. You never noticed how your smile stayed with me long after we were apart. You never understood that you inspired courage without even knowing it." Those sentences carry a quiet power that cannot be explained with logic alone. They remind you that real connections are often built through the smallest moments instead of the loudest ones. Then comes a pause, almost as if the writer hesitates before revealing the biggest truth. The page remains blank for a second, forcing you to wonder what could possibly come next. Your heart beats faster because you know the next sentence might answer the question you've been carrying for far too long. Without warning, the final page begins to appear, and every word feels more urgent than the last. If you are reading this, it means the moment I waited for is closer than ever. I no longer want fear to decide my future. I no longer want silence to speak louder than my heart. Those words refuse to leave your mind. Then comes the sentence nobody expected. "There is one promise I have protected through every season, and I am finally ready to reveal it." Everything stops there. The letter does not reveal the promise immediately. Instead, it leaves behind one final clue. The next page holds the truth I could never say out loud, but it will only appear for those who stay until the very end. Suddenly the edges of the paper begin fading, as though the 5-minute countdown has already begun. The words slowly disappear one by one, leaving only a single unforgettable reminder behind: don't let this moment pass you by. Don't skip, because the most powerful line of the entire letter has not been revealed yet, and what waits next has the power to change the meaning of every word you've heard so far. The fading words suddenly return, but this time they appear more clearly than before, as if the letter itself has decided you are finally ready to continue. Don't skip, because what comes next was hidden until this exact moment. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. A new sentence slowly forms across the page. There is a reason I never let this letter reach you too early. Those words instantly raise another question. Why wait? Why protect these feelings for so long? The answer arrives one line at a time. I needed my heart to become brave enough to tell you everything without fear. As you continue reading, every sentence feels more personal than the last. There were nights when I rewrote these pages over and over again because no word seemed worthy of what I truly felt. I wanted every sentence to remind you that even when life became confusing, you were never forgotten. Suddenly the paper reveals tiny handwritten notes along the edges, almost like memories that had been hidden between the lines. I remembered the smallest details about you, the moments everyone else overlooked. I remembered your laughter, your patience, your quiet strength, and even the dreams you stopped talking about. Those dreams never disappeared from my heart. The letter continues without slowing down. If I could have spoken sooner, I would have told you that every delay was teaching me how valuable you really are. Every obstacle only made my feelings stronger instead of weaker. Then comes another breathtaking line. One day you will understand that the waiting was never punishment, it was preparation. You pause, realizing that every difficult season may have been building towards something far greater than you ever imagined. The paper trembles gently, almost inviting you to keep reading before the disappearing words vanish once again. Another hidden section unfolds beneath the first, revealing something that was impossible to see before. I have carried one secret for longer than anyone knows. Don't skip now, because this is where everything begins to change. Whenever I imagine my happiest future, your presence was always there, even before I understood why. Those words echo through your mind. Then the letter becomes even more emotional. I watched opportunities come and go. I watched people enter and leave my life. Yet somehow, none of them could replace the peace I felt whenever I thought about you. The handwriting suddenly grows bolder, almost as if the writer no longer wants to hide behind uncertainty. Please believe this one thing. Distance never erased what was written inside my heart. Time never weakened it. Silence never defeated it. As those sentences settle in, another folded page appears beneath them. Written across the top are the words, "The promise I never broke." You unfold it carefully. No matter where life carried me, I promised myself that if the right moment ever arrived, I would stop running from what my heart had known all along. Every line feels heavier than the one before. I stopped asking whether the future would be easy. I only started asking whether it would be real. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Just when it feels like the greatest revelation has already arrived, a faint sentence begins appearing beneath the page, almost invisible at first. It reads, the biggest truth has still not been spoken. The final sheet slowly rises from beneath the others, brighter than every page before it. The disappearing timer has almost reached its end, making every second feel priceless. If you have stayed with this letter until now, it says, then you deserve to know why these words could never be written for anyone else. You hold your breath as the final message begins to reveal itself. Some connections are not measured by how often people speak. They are measured by how deeply they remember one another even through silence. Those words feel unforgettable. Then another sentence appears. The next page contains the one confession I have protected above everything else. It is the sentence I feared writing, because once you read it, nothing will ever feel the same again. The edges of the paper begin fading faster than before. Entire lines disappear almost as soon as they appear. Only one final clue remains visible. When the last page opens, you will finally discover the one name my heart has whispered through every chapter of this letter. Don't skip, stay till the end. Because something huge is waiting for you, and the greatest confession of the entire letter is only one page away. A final page quietly unfolds, but unlike the others, it is completely blank for a few seconds. That silence feels louder than any words you have read so far. Don't skip, because this is the moment everything changes. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Then, as if the page is responding to your patience, one sentence slowly appears. The greatest truth was never hidden from you, it was hidden inside the timing. Your heart immediately wonders what that could possibly mean. More words begin to form. I once believed love had to arrive quickly to be real. I was wrong. The strongest feelings are often the ones that survive waiting, uncertainty, and unanswered questions. Every line feels as though it was written with complete honesty. If I had reached you before I was ready, I might have given you promises instead of certainty. Today, I want to give you certainty instead of promises. Those words settle deeply. The letter continues, you deserve someone who chooses you with confidence, not confusion. Someone who stops searching because they already know where their heart belongs. Suddenly, another sentence shines brighter than the rest. That is why I protected these words until now. For a brief moment, everything becomes still. Every delay, every unanswered moment, every unexpected turn begins to feel less like a mistake and more like preparation for this very page. The handwriting becomes steadier, almost as if every remaining word has been waiting for this exact moment. There is one memory I could never erase, the letter says. It wasn't a grand moment that anyone else would remember. It was something small. A smile, a simple conversation, a quiet moment that stayed with me long after it ended. The page continues. That memory became my reminder whenever life became difficult. It reminded me that genuine connections are built through sincerity, not perfection. Don't skip now, because the next revelation changes the meaning of everything you've heard. Another hidden line appears beneath the others. I finally stopped asking whether you would understand me. Instead, I asked whether I was brave enough to tell you the truth. The paper almost glows as the confession grows stronger. The truth is that my future never felt complete without imagining you somewhere inside it. Those words linger in the air. Then comes another unexpected sentence. This letter was never written to create hope that disappears tomorrow. It was written to remind you that real feelings don't fade simply because time passes. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. As you reach the bottom of the page, you notice one final folded corner with only a single handwritten instruction. Turn this page slowly, the final sentence can only be read once. As you carefully lift the corner, the last message finally begins to reveal itself. Every word appears one by one, almost as though the letter is taking one final breath before disappearing forever. If you have stayed with me until this moment, then you already know the answer I spent so long trying to write. A pause follows before the next line appears. The greatest love letter was never about perfect words. It was about finding the courage to speak them at the right time. The paper starts fading faster than ever, yet one final paragraph remains visible. From this moment forward, never underestimate the quiet moments in your life. Sometimes the biggest turning points begin with the softest whispers. Then the very last sentence shines brighter than all the others before slowly disappearing. This letter may vanish, but what it wanted you to remember never will. The page turns blank once again, but in the center, one tiny message refuses to fade. The ending you expected was only the beginning of an even greater chapter. Don't skip. Because the next page reveals what happens after the letter disappears, and that truth is even more unforgettable than the letter itself. The letter disappears completely, leaving nothing behind except an overwhelming silence. For a moment, you wonder if everything is over. But then something unexpected happens. A single golden sentence begins to appear where the letter once was. Don't skip, because this is the moment the hidden meaning finally starts revealing itself. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The sentence reads, "The letter was never the destination, it was only the invitation." Your heart races as another line slowly forms beneath it. The real message begins after the words disappear. Suddenly, you realize the letter was preparing you all along. Every page was leading toward this exact moment. You searched for answers inside the paper, but the greatest answer has always been growing inside your own heart. Those words refuse to leave your mind. Another sentence follows. The courage you were waiting to see in someone else has quietly been growing within both of you. The silence no longer feels empty, it feels full of possibility. Then another hidden message appears. When two hearts are meant to understand each other, they don't always need perfect timing. They only need one unforgettable moment of honesty. Every word feels stronger than the last. Just when you think you've reached the end, one final line appears across the page. The next revelation cannot be erased because it was never written with ink, it was written with truth. The page begins glowing brighter, inviting you to keep listening because the greatest discovery is still ahead. Without warning, a second message rises from beneath the fading light. It looks different from everything you've read before, almost like it has been protected for years. I stopped writing because I realized actions would eventually speak louder than letters. Those words immediately change everything. Don't skip now, because this hidden confession connects every page you've heard so far. Every silent step I took was leading me closer to becoming the person I wanted you to meet. The message continues, I wanted my future to match the promises my heart had already made. You pause, realizing this letter was never asking for blind belief. It was asking for patience, growth, and trust in the journey. Then another unforgettable sentence appears. The most beautiful chapters are never rushed. They arrive exactly when both hearts are finally ready to understand them. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The page trembles once more before revealing another breathtaking clue. Soon, something will happen that reminds you of these words, and when it does, you'll understand why this message had to disappear before it could truly stay with you. The glowing page slowly folds itself closed, but one tiny corner refuses to disappear. Written there are the words, "One final truth still remains hidden." The light surrounding the page grows brighter until every remaining word becomes crystal clear. The final truth isn't about losing the letter, it says. It's about discovering that nothing truly meaningful can ever be taken away. You continue reading as the last hidden paragraph reveals itself. The courage, hope, and quiet certainty awakened by these words are now part of your story. No disappearing page can erase what has already reached your heart. A deep sense of anticipation builds because you know one final mystery has not yet been solved. Then the closing lines appear. Very soon, a moment will arrive that feels strangely familiar. When it does, remember this letter. Remember that every disappearing word was leading you towards something far greater than a single message. The page begins fading one last time, but before the light completely disappears, one unforgettable promise remains shining in the center. The next chapter doesn't reveal another letter, it reveals what happens when the feelings inside that letter finally find the courage to move forward. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Because something huge is waiting for you, and the greatest moment of this entire journey is closer than ever. My beloved child, the light from the vanished letter has faded, but its presence has not. It feels as though every word has quietly settled inside your heart instead of remaining on the page. Don't skip, because this is where the entire journey reveals its deepest meaning. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. As you look one final time at the empty space where the letter disappeared, something remarkable happens. Tiny fragments of light begin gathering together, not to recreate the letter, but to leave behind one lasting message. Love is never measured by how long a letter exists. It is measured by what remains after the words are gone. Those words echo through your thoughts. Suddenly, every unanswered question from the beginning of this journey starts finding its answer. Why did the letter disappear? Because it was never meant to become something you depended on. It was meant to awaken something that could never disappear. Another glowing sentence forms. You searched for proof on these pages, but the greatest proof was always the way your heart refused to stop believing. You realized the countdown was never your enemy. It was a reminder that the most meaningful moments in life are often the ones we refuse to waste. Then one final hidden paragraph appears, brighter than every page before it. If this letter had remained forever, you might have read it once and forgotten it. Because it disappeared, you will carry it with you every single day. Those words change everything. The silence no longer feels empty. It feels complete, as though every page has found its perfect ending. The light grows softer, and one final scene begins unfolding before your eyes. It isn't another letter. It isn't another secret page. Instead, it feels like the beginning of an entirely new chapter. Don't skip, because this moment connects every clue you've followed from the very beginning. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. A single sentence appears in the distance. The next chapter is not written by ink, it is written by courage. You read it again, and suddenly its meaning becomes clear. The greatest confession was never the words themselves. The greatest confession was finding the courage to stop hiding behind silence. Another sentence follows. Every page prepared you for this one decision, to believe that beautiful things often arrive after seasons of waiting. Then the final hidden message reveals itself. Never mistake a quiet season for an empty one. Some of life's greatest moments are preparing themselves while everything appears completely still. Your heart feels lighter. The fear of missing something begins to disappear because you understand that genuine connections are strengthened by patience, sincerity, and hope. One last beam of light stretches across the page, leaving behind a promise that feels impossible to forget. The story you believed was ending has only reached the place where real beginnings become possible. As the final glow slowly disappears into the horizon, only one sentence remains, shining brighter than everything else you have seen. Whenever why.